Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Haley has the night off. Floridians are bracing themselves for Hurricane Irma as it continues its path toward the Sunshine State. We have new information, some breaking news tonight on a hurricane watch posted for the Suncoast. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with a new track of the storm. Bob?
Well, Scott, this has the potential to be the worst hurricane ever to hit the Sunshine State at this point. This is a serious situation now. This just in from the National Hurricane Center. A hurricane watch has been issued for our coast. It's from Bonita Beach, although it's not depicted on this. We just got the information coming in from the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane watch now is from Bonita Beach all the way through Anna Maria Island now. That is a hurricane watch. These have now been changed to a hurricane warning for the Keys all the way along the east coast of Florida. So this is just coming in, computer catching up to it right now. But again, a hurricane watch has now been issued for Bonita Beach northward through Anna Maria Island for west central Florida, including the southwest coast. This is an amazing storm that continues to weaken slightly. But don't let that fool you. The wind field is expanding on this thing, and it looks like the latest forecast path and track has it moving a little bit further west with this particular run. Again, it is hammering the Turks and Caicos right now with just tremendous storm surge throughout that region and continuing to bring winds at 165 miles an hour now. It's moving to the west-northwest at 16. Even though the winds have dropped 20 miles an hour since last night's reading, it is still a Category 5 hurricane. The pressure really hasn't dropped all that much. Again, it's going through an eye wall replacement, meaning that the wind field is expanding now. A secondary eye wall has developed, and that inner eye wall where the strong winds had been have now been pushed out, and it is weakening just a little bit. It actually could gain some strength as it makes its way off to the west. Well, here's what the latest is now from the National Hurricane Center. It continues to be a 5 up and through the next 12 hours, and then it drops down to still a 4, but a major 4 at that. And notice the line. The center line has shifted to the west now, right over Lake Okeechobee as a Category 3. That's still a major hurricane. With the wind field expanding, we can expect hurricane force winds here. It now appears all up and down west central Florida at this point. Will it be Category 3 hurricane? That remains to be seen at this point, but right now the National Hurricane Center is depicting a major hurricane crossing right across the spine of the state. This is the worst case scenario you could have as far as Florida is concerned, because if you have a major hurricane like this, you're going to see power outages across the entire state, and every county would have hurricane force winds if this scenario plays out right now. Again, it starts to bend off toward Georgia, and they're not out of the woods here at all because this is going to just create tremendous problems with flooding throughout this region. On top of that storm surge, a lot of people have been asking about it. We're going to get more of a east to southeasterly wind flow here, so storm surge will be a really dangerous situation all along the east coast of Florida. Not so much for us throughout most of the day. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll have east to northeasterly wind around the system, so that means the water would actually be flowing away from the bays and streams around town that are connected to the Gulf of Mexico. But once the storm gets north of our latitude, there's a chance we could see that storm surge whip around and become a problem here. Not a huge storm surge, but nonetheless, it will be a problem for coastal locations. I wanted to show you this wind radius as far as timing goes. It looks like the tropical storm force winds started around 9 a.m. on Saturday, and as we move through time, you can see moving into our coast or our area Sunday fairly early at 12:30 in the morning, and then the hurricane force winds in this orange area starting to move in late Sunday, again Sunday morning and then into the evening. All of our area should be under hurricane warning conditions at that point. You'll notice that most every county is going to see hurricane force winds. This could be a very devastating storm for Florida. Right now, it looks as though there is no chance that this is not going to hit Florida somewhere. We'll keep you up to date on the situation. I'll have more in just a little bit. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Manatee County issuing a voluntary evacuation for low-lying areas of mobile home residents earlier today. This, of course, may change with the new information tonight. This will begin tomorrow morning at 7. People living in the county's evacuation level A, red-colored areas on the map near the coast, rivers, streams, low-lying areas, are welcome to leave, including people living in mobile homes. 5 emergency shelters are now set to open tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in Manatee County. And again, this may increase with the news tonight. They are Myakka Elementary School, Braden River High, Manatee High, Mills Elementary in Palmetto, and Nolan Middle School in Lakewood Ranch. All of the shelters except Myakka Elementary are pet friendly, and Nolan is also a special needs shelter. Sarasota County officials planning a voluntary evacuation as well tomorrow for Zone A, barrier islands, and areas known for flooding. Residents are encouraged to know their evacuation zone and the location of open shelters. Governor Rick Scott is directing all public schools, state colleges, universities, and state offices to close tomorrow through at least Monday. This will ensure that there will be enough space available for sheltering and staging. Florida's public schools serve as vital role as shelters for displaced residents and then staging areas for hurricane recovery efforts. Also tonight, both Florida State and University of Florida canceling their scheduled games for Saturday. More sandbags will be available across the area tomorrow. In Manatee County, you can get sandbags at 4 different locations from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Buffalo Creek Park in Palmetto, Lakewood Ranch Park, Stormwater Ops in Bradenton, and Rabonia Community Center in Palmetto. In Sarasota County, sandbags will be available at 3 sites tomorrow: Newtown Estates Park, Twin Lakes Park, and the South County Fleet Facility. Up to 15 bags are available for each household while supplies last. Well, imagine going to work and being told to fly right through the center of a Category 5 hurricane. Well, that's the life of hurricane hunters. They are currently flying into 3 different storms. On Wednesday's mission into Irma, crews flew through 200-mile-an-hour winds for 2 miles. And once they reached the eye of the storm, they say it was very clear and a beautiful center. Lieutenant Colonel Sean Cross coordinates flight crews and missions from an Air Force base in Mississippi and from a deployed location in the Caribbean. They collect critical storm data that may very well save lives.
We have a deployed location, which is an island of Curacao, just off of Venezuela. We have 3 aircraft there with about 60 people and maintenance personnel and parts, everything that it takes to sustain operations for an indefinite amount of time. They are currently flying Irma and Jose at the same time.
Starting Saturday, as it approaches the U.S., the hurricane hunters will assume all operations of Irma. A former circus tiger from the Suncoast on its way from Tampa to a sanctuary in Tennessee somehow got loose while the truck stopped in Atlanta. Police say the tiger named Susie jumped a fence in a nearby neighborhood and was about to attack a dog when they shot and killed it. Susie performed with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. A Feld Entertainment spokesman says they are saddened by the incident.
I mean, clearly this is something that we never expected to happen, and everyone is very saddened by the loss. Susie was indeed raised by Alexandra Lacey, who worked with us with Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey before it closed in May. And everyone's very upset by this accident, but also grateful that no one was hurt.
And with Irma on the way, the issue has sparked concern about securing similar animals in the area. Big cat habitat, for instance. The officials there in Sarasota say they have secure facilities that will withstand a hurricane. Up next, Bob Harrigan will be back with the first alert forecast and the latest on the new news tonight, which is that the Suncoast is under a hurricane watch. Stay with us.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, just incredible news again tonight. The track has shifted a little bit to the west, and so things are looking very ominous for the entire peninsula of Florida at this time. Also into Georgia and the Carolina coast. This is a monster of a storm which is expanding its wind field right now as it makes its way off toward the west-northwest at 16. Top winds are at 165 miles an hour, still a Category 5 storm, and it looks like it will only drop down to a 4 as it makes landfall sometime on Saturday, again, late Saturday, early Sunday, into the southern portion of the peninsula. That has shifted a little bit to the west. Again, the timing of the winds moving into South Florida at around 9 o'clock in the morning, but the strongest hurricane force winds will start to make their way in our direction come Sunday morning and really intensify throughout the afternoon and evening. And every county, as I mentioned, has the potential of receiving hurricane force winds in the peninsula of Florida, something we have never seen in the history. In reality, hurricane watch, this is now a warning that you see here. We are in a hurricane watch from Bonita Beach, just south of Fort Myers, northward through Anna Maria Island. A hurricane watch means the conditions could become favorable for hurricane conditions on into the next 48 hours. So the hurricane warning will be issued, it appears, for our area sometime late tomorrow or early Saturday. Again, a hurricane warning will more than likely be issued if the cone stays where it is and the position of the storm continues in the same direction as indicated by that, again, forecast cone. A lot of the models still on the East Coast. However, some of the more reliable models have shifted a little bit further off to the west. Is there a potential for it to get into the Gulf? It's unlikely at this time. As far as storm surge goes, the heaviest will be along the east coast of Florida as they'll get onshore flow. For us, majority of the storm will get offshore flow, and that will actually cause some of the water levels to recede here. We will also see some very heavy rainfall as it makes its way through. Right now, it doesn't appear that we're going to see a huge rain event because it will be moving northward fairly quickly through the state. But this is the GFS model, which is also shifted off to the left a little bit, and that would still indicate hurricane force winds throughout the entire state. And that means, with that in mind, it's projecting a Category 3 in the interior portion of the state, parallel with our coast. We would get more than likely Category 2 hurricane force winds here in Sarasota and Manatee counties. What that causes is basically power outages, trees snapped off. It doesn't usually mean major structural damage. You have to have a major hurricane for that to occur, but Highlands County, DeSoto County, and also into Hardy County could definitely see that. Let's get to the forecast real quick. We're running a little long, but nonetheless, the 7-day forecast shakes up like this. A 50% chance for showers and storms on Friday, the same on Saturday. That's ahead of, or it may actually dry out a little bit Saturday evening, but then we'll see those storms really start to peak up on Sunday, Sunday night, and Monday, and very windy conditions, hurricane conditions possible on those days. We'll have much more coming up in a little bit.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
I'm Alan Cohn, keeping track of Irma. Hit or miss, what do you need to know? Gas, water, bread, and public safety.
Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Football Friday night, a Thursday night edition is coming up next, and then Bob will be on at the end of that program with more on Hurricane Irma. Stay with us.